Hi there. Alrighty, we're all set. I did all my preparation before I started rolling the cameras this time. Oh, shoot. Alright, I did almost all the preparation. I forgot to notify the Discord. Hang on. There we go. Make sure everybody knows. Okay, so today we are making bandanas. Definitely not a hard thing to do, but, I mean, if you don't know how to do it, it can be, you know, a little bit nerve-wracking, only because fabric is so expensive. Like, you need 2 yards of fabric to do this, unless it's, well, depending on if you want the same back and the front. If you want the bandana to be different on both sides, you need 1 yard of both sides of fabric. But if you want it to be the same, on either side, like, this one is... Let me set the lamp up, and then I'll start talking. Where do I put the lamp, though? Maybe I'll clip it. Where do I... See, I'm like, look at me, guys. I'm all set up. I don't even need to do anything. And now, here I am setting up. I can't just not lie. Okay, hopefully this helps. Maybe. Still a bit dark, but... There we go. Light! Okay, good. Alright, so here's my pre-made... I already have 2 bandanas for Figby here. This is one of them. Where's the camera? Oh, here it is. It's a super cute s'mores. And it's the same on both sides. Hey, how you doing? Willow, yeah. How you doing, Willow? We're making bandanas. Or at least we're talking about it. We're gonna make them in a second. So it's this big old triangle shape here. And it goes like this. And it looks huge on me, and that's because it is. But when I put it on Figby, it looks great. So if you want the same fabric on both sides, get like 1 yard of fabric. And we'll cut it into a square and fold it over. If you want different fabric on each side, you're still going to need a yard, though. So you're going to need a yard for the front and a yard for the back. And then you're going to be able to make 2 bandanas out of the same exact... It'll be a duplicate bandana. Oh, gonna go to sleep? Yeah. I know, it was a late night time for me to be streaming, huh? I'm doing good, actually. I was feeling sick last week, but, like, I'm better now, so... I hope you are doing well, besides being tired. I know, I love the s'mores! And this is my Halloween one. I love the little candy corns. I don't know what it is, but things with tiny little patterns, I just think are the cutest. Yee! So, when it's double-sided like this, you can choose which side you'd like. Or you can... I mean, you can kind of fold it over. I mean, it's really up to you. You can do something like that. Good, yeah. Avengers! Hey, how you doing, Avengers? I thought about calling you earlier today, actually. But then I realized it was, like, already almost midnight and I needed to stream. I had to ask you if you were free on a certain date, because I wanted to do something. Alright, so here is our bandanas. That's what they look like. Let's put him on Figby and see what it looks like on him. Oh yeah, he's wearing his little shamrock necklace. I'm gonna yeet that over there. Okay, camera. Back up it. You're too close. Alright, well, it took me a good few minutes before I had to start fighting the camera, so that's nice. That's a step in the right direction. Usually it takes me, like, 2 seconds to start fighting the camera. One with a combination of them, like, stitched together. I totally could. I totally could. It would be very unique. Anything you want, really. There's so many fabrics at the store. It's fun to choose. Figby! He's so cute. Oh, thank you. I love him. I love his dorky little nose. Wow, his muzzle's kind of heavy right now, isn't it? It's kind of... Usually it stays up a little bit, but it's kind of fallen. I've fallen and I can't get up. Honestly, for that, I just kind of put like a ball or something in his mouth for a few days, and then it'll stay open again. I know it's so weird, but... Anyways, yeah, that's just a scarf I made. So let's look at the bandanas. Maybe we'll make scarves when it gets to be winter. Thank you, by the way. I think he's cute, too. I love him. Eee. I know the lighting's kind of wonky right now, but... Renn comes in with the sad faces. One of those days, huh? Alright, so... this is how it will look. Once I get it on. Okay. I gotta angle the camera again. I love the turtle! The pygmy turtle! His muzzle flaps down. I know, right? It's a really fun thing when you're running around in a fursuit and you go like this and it just kind of bobbles. So yeah, you can still see the backing from the back here. It's really cute. That's why I like to do the double-sided. And I guess you could wear it looser if you want or double knot it, but I don't like to double knot these because you're wearing it. What if you get like really hot and you need to pull the head off really fast? It's kind of scary to double knot a neck thing on. He looks like he's eating. Oh no, Renn! Sad! Everybody's getting sick. Is it like a seasonal thing? There we go. I'm sorry you're sick. Oh, well, before you go, I want to show you your bandanas. Hang on. I wanted to show off. This is the one I wear often. Is my s'mores one. But yeah, I want to show Renn the bandanas the fabrics I chose for her. Okay, so I've got this pretty like deep red mixed with the roses, and that's gonna be a double-sided bandana that's very cute. I'm really excited for this one. And we've got these two. They don't match as well, but they kind of do. See, Renn has this design with this kind of like cross scar, I think, on her face, so I thought that would be really cute with it, and the gray matches. And then, because every time Renn comes in, she drops a whole ton of dogs in the chat, I thought this would be really cute, because it's just tiny, tiny little dogs everywhere. So these are going to be the two bandanas we're going to make today. And if we have time, we might make a few more, but we'll see. So that's going to be fun. Okay, good night, Willow. Thanks for stopping by. Everyone at your school's getting sick, right? It's that time. Oh no, Avengers, you can go, really. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Renn. Like, those are the most annoying sicknesses. If it was just a cold, it'd be great if it would just go away. Oh, good. I'm glad you like them. I hoped you would like them. Yeah, Avengers, don't stay up just to watch my show. It's okay. I'm sure I'll be live again another day. Gonna just wear this giant one. Ugh. I actually have some fabric in the dryer right now of more bandanas I was gonna make, but those aren't for anybody in particular. I just thought they were cute. Okay, I guess I'm just wearing this now. I guess if you tie it tight enough in the back, it can be small enough to fit a human, so well, it works. Good night, Renn. Good night, everybody, really. Everyone who's going. I'm sorry, I know it's really late when I started, but... Okay, so... we've got a yard of fabric here. This rose fabric. One whole yard. That means it's a square, almost. Almost. Not quite. So we've got to do something with this. We have to make it into a perfect square. I love the squid jab. How did I get fur in my mouth? I'm not even eating any... Not even shaving any fur. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the reason I wanted to talk to you, Avengers, is because I'm gonna be kind of passing by your area, maybe, I think, for a wedding. So, I might contact you later and see if we can, like, go eat lunch or something, because... I mean, I'm driving right by, I think. Maybe. I'll have to look. That's kind of why I have to ask you. I am fur girl. I eat the furs. Alright, so the best thing to do is to make this a square. So, first of all, you get a yard of fabric. It usually comes like this. It's usually kind of like a rectangle almost. It's not really a square. Panic mode initiated. So one side is gonna be cut from like the Joanne or wherever you get it. The other side is also gonna be cut from there. But these top two edges are called the Selvage. And these two edges are like the part where the machine holds onto it, so they don't fray. And that's the reason I'm telling you that is because we need these gone. We need these to not be part of our bandana. These selvage edges. So we're going to have to cut these parts off for sure. That can't be part of it. What is done, Gaming Shaper? I must know. The Oreo Queen. I just had a whole stack of Oreo boxes, and I just stacked them up in the hallway because I was going to sort some fur swatches into there. I should have taken a picture of all those Oreo boxes. That thing? Yeah, right! It's there. Well, it's kind of there. It's in the background a little bit. I'm confused. Are you talking about the head? Because the head's hiding back there. Alright, so I gotta move Figby out of the way. Because he really is in the way right now. Sorry, Fig. Sorry, Mr. Woofs. Mr. Woofs does not get enough screen time anymore. He used to get a lot more. Almost done? I think. Like the head? It's getting furred right now. Oh, Figby! Oh, yeah. He's done. Figby is done. Oh, he fell down. Stand up, please. Yeah. He does not have a squeaker in his nose, but yeah. He is actually a wolf, but honestly, everybody calls him Fox. I think it's the ears. Next time I make a version Figby 2.0, I'll make sure that it doesn't look so foxish. Oh, yay! Thank you! I like him. I hope I should like him because he is my fursona after all. Alright, guys, this is a problem. This ironing board isn't big enough, so we're gonna hit up the floor. My favorite spot. Alright. Hold tight. We're relocating. I've got to move these boxes. And the ironing board. Get out of my way, please. Okie dokie. To the floor. My favorite. Figby tails per hour. Alright. So I'm just going to try to lay this flat. Emphasis on try, because I just don't have enough space in here, frankly. Not so bad when I'm on my own, but when I'm trying to film it, it's worse. Okay, I'm going to have to make some more space. Sorry, don't mind me. Just moving all this stuff. By the way, has anyone seen the Sonic 2 movie? Because I did, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but I got enjoyment out of it, and that's good enough for me. Like, it won't blow your mind or anything, but I was entertained. I love that. Okay, so we've got this down here. Time to cut it. So I'm gonna grab my sewing scissors. Oh, can this cord just not, please? Can you just not block the camera, actually? Okay. So first things first. I'm going to cut off this selvage edge on this side. I don't want that. So determine the selvage edge. It's not usually that hard to see. I mean, especially on this one, it's just bright white, you know? Also, I heard that Sonic Forces is only a few hours long. What? I think I should probably try to beat that game then. If it's only a few hours long, you know? I mean, I was just playing, I did want to play more of it on stream, but like, now I feel very much like I have to, because I could definitely beat it on stream. Okay? Good, good. So, I cut off the selvage on this side, which, for crying out loud, you guys can't even see. cut, right? There we go. Oh god, my butt. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to show you guys that. Nobody clipped that. Alright, when you have a new fabric, you always, well, I guess it kind of depends a little bit, but you almost always need to wash it first. Certain fabrics shrink in the wash. Most fabrics shrink in the wash. So when you get home from buying some fabric, or you just got it in the mail, whatever, most of the time you're going to want to wash it immediately, or just, you know, sometime before you use it. Especially if you're using cotton, and that is what I'm using right now. I'm using cotton. So, oh, I see the little, those faces? I see little things going across the screen. Oh, yeah, his face is butt flex, right? Hey, everyone, check out my butt. Yeah, so this is just a standard cotton. It's, let me show you the back of this one. Most cottons are just, like, woven, so you can kind of see the woven nature of this. It's got crosshairs going one way, up and down, and left and right. And if you cut it, it will fray. You can see it's starting to fray on this one a little bit. That's what I usually make bandanas out of. Like, pillowcase material. Yeah. But you can also use flannel, which is a bit softer, definitely a bit thicker, but it still gets the job done. Sorry, I'm just trying to straighten this out. It doesn't want to straighten. It's fighting me a little bit. Come on. Anyways, my s'mores one is flannel, so I can use the flannel if I'd like. If I can figure out where I put it. Where did I... It's gone. Where did I put it? No, that's excellent. That's fine. I didn't need it anyways. My dog loves to destroy pillowcases. That's such a dog thing, isn't it? Okay, I don't know where I put my s'mores one, but I do have this. This is flannel right here. Oh. Did I break the camera? Oh, that's great. Alright. Hold on, friends. Bye, camera. Kill the dog. Okay, camera? You alright, buddy? I don't know what I did to anger you, but please start working again. I kind of really need you. Don't mind me. Deactivate it. Activate it. There we go. Okay, we're back. And let me fix this other one while we're at it. Okay? Yes! Eggman will probably be Jim Carrey's last role. Oh my gosh, don't say that! He's a legend, and I will be so sad if he never does any more things. Okay. So, if your thing isn't straightening out, like this is not, it's kind of bunching here, and you need to decide whether you want this edge to be straight or you want this edge to be straight, go by this edge. I would go by this diagonal here, and then you can kind of flatten the rest into place. See, what would be great is if I had a nice big sewing table, but I don't have that. I have the floor. Thank you, floor. Alright, see, it's bunching up again. Maybe I should have ironed it first, yeah? I was gonna iron it after, but if I ironed it first, I wouldn't be having these troubles. Okay, so now that we've cut off the selvage on this side, folded it over, and now, if I cut it, we should theoretically have a square. Iron it! I know, right? I think I might have to because it's not going flat. I can't believe I've got to iron it twice. What is this world? And my iron is all the way over here. This workroom of mine, it is much too small. Don't mind this little panda muzzle. This is one of those Maskimals, I think is what they're called. Let me switch cameras. Yeah, this is, well, when my grandma just passed, she loved pandas, and she had lots of panda things, and somebody gave her this. So, I, being the costumer of the family, I guess I inherited it. It's mine now, and it is very cute. I thought maybe I could do like a small review on it. Maybe while we're ironing. Okay. Oh god, I really gotta change this camera angle. It's just zoomed in on my butt. What is this? I'm so sorry about that. Truly. No one should have to see that. Woo! Woo! Oh, it's going too low. Yes, if you guys weren't here, I'd still be having the same trouble, by the way. Okay. I guess we'll do it the hard way. We'll iron it first. Okay. Let me grab out my iron. Oh, God. You know what would be great is if I could stop dropping stuff. See, here's my fancy iron. It's yellow. I accidentally just turned it upside down, and it's a water iron, so it kind of just, like, leaked all over me. That's good. Come on. Okay. I'm running out of outlets here. You know, I probably should, get the water out of it once in a while, but I just never do. But, I'm wondering how bad that is, if that's a good thing or I mean, if it's a bad thing or if it matters. Okay, so, it's hard to see in my iron here, but this dial is the temperature setting. Cotton can take some pretty high heat, so, flannel I think also does. Don't quote me on that, but these should be able to take pretty good heat. So I usually put it on medium, instead of low or whatever. And I usually put the pattern face down. I mean, you can do it either way, but I just prefer to try to protect the pattern side if I can. So I'll put the pattern face down and then iron on top. So this is going to need just a second to heat up. Kind of like a glue gun. Clover struggles for 10 minutes straight compilation. When? Honestly, though, I would love that. I would love that. We should do that for, like, some huge mark or whatever, like 300 followers or something. That would be so funny. Thank you. I like my iron. It's yellow and white. I should make a fursona based on an iron. It'll just be like an iron with eyes. Anyways, how are you doing, Skillafro? Is this warm yet? No, it's not. I have... Okay, not to show this off again. I show this off all the time. I do have a burn here. It's barely visible in this lighting, but it's from the, right there. From an iron, so let me tell you, be careful ironing. I was doing perler beads, and, I was on the floor picking up some beads, and then, the beads that I dropped, and then, my sister's cat, Jasper, ran by, pulled on the cord, and it fell down on me, off the table, and hit my arm right at an angle right there, so, yeah. Yes, iron burns are awful! She wanted her arm to be well done. It's true, it had to be toasty. I like toasty, apparently. I love this bandana, it's so cute. I see where your allegiance lies. What? I chose to stream instead of hanging out with you? Oh. Ooh, I love that. Perler beads are so fun. Oh, this feels kind of warm, so let's go. Perler beads, I like to make, like, Pokemon sprites out of them. And then I just have all the Pokemon. Those are fun. I love those. Alright, so yeah. Not much to it here. If you got the right temperature, I mean, there are some steam irons, like, that have, like, water in them. You don't really need it. I mean, unless you've got some really, really intense wrinkles. But, yeah, just, this should be fine. You just go over it and it looks good. Much, much better. I just wanted to say hi. Go to bed. Amazing. I remember when I was really little, and sometimes I would get in trouble and get sent to bed because it was already almost bedtime anyways, but, like, I was such a brat. I would hide books underneath my pillow so that I could read them when I got sent to bed. Like, right. At least I was reading books. I could have been doing something else. I don't know. But, like, I just thought that was funny. Alright, yeah. So, first things first, you need a yard for the front and a yard for the back. Or just, if it's the same on the front and back, you need 1 yard of fabric. And you need to wash it and dry it, just like normal. So usually in the washer or dryer, I put it on like medium heat, like just how I would normally wash it. And that'll pre-shrink it so that afterwards it doesn't shrink more. Well, I mean it might a little, but if you don't pre-shrink it by washing it and drying it first, then later on it may try to shrink, like it will shrink when you wash it for the first time, and then that would be bad. Because it'll just be tiny, and it'll make the seams all jacked up. Like, I think I did that on this one. Like, it's kind of strange. There's some weird, it's too dark over here. But it's just kind of poofy and ruffly. Like, it's not nice and flat. Alright, here's the butt cam. Yeah, right? Rave time. I'm sure you guys will accidentally get another view of my butt in the future. It's just gonna happen. It'd be great if I didn't cover the camera with my arm, though, either. So, especially after you wash it, it's gonna have some frayed edges, and it's gonna need ironing for sure. I was trying to skip this ironing step. I was gonna iron it after, but, like... Yeah. Yeah, you guys are right. I should probably just iron it now. Alright, I'll do that. I'll get right on that. Yeah, so I didn't have an ironing board for a long time. And I didn't have an iron either, but I was borrowing a family member's iron. And so I was just ironing on the carpet. Like... Don't do what I do. That being said, I don't think it caused any damage. I probably should have... I mean, I checked to make sure it wouldn't. And I was only using, like, low heat and stuff. But, like, probably don't do that. Ironing boards aren't that expensive. And, you can always, like, make a makeshift one. Don't do that. Anyways, also, some problems that I had was... like, from parts, like, when I was working on other parts of the fursuits, like, the heads and stuff, sometimes, like, some glue stuff would get stuck on the floor, but I wouldn't know it, and then later on, I'd find that glue, because when I was ironing on the floor, that glue would get stuck to that bandana. Like, so that's kind of not good, either. You don't want your bandana to get hardened, well, not hardened anymore, melted glue stuck on your bandana. So also, if you do need to use the floor for any other project, make sure you vacuum first to pick up any loose particles or glue, furs, whatever. So yeah, you can see the edge is really, really shredded down from after washing it. So when we're done here, this is all going to be tucked in so that it doesn't shred for the rest of its life. Tony Hawk shred. Right? It's just so big. It looks very silly. Alright, Alright, so the other side, ironing the other side, it didn't get out all the iron kinks, so I'm just going to iron on this side too. I usually, if I can help it, just do the back side, but like, if it needs it, it's usually fine to do the front also. You just gotta be careful with whatever fabric you're ironing. Certain things you cannot iron. Like, anything kind of metallic, be severely careful or do not iron. You kind of need to know, like, about your fabric before you just kind of jump in and start doing stuff, because you could really wreck it. But yeah, flannel and cottons, those are fine. I would not probably iron anything like, definitely not minky at all. Not Velboa, not faux fur of any kind. Anything super soft, like plush fabric, like plush minky, do not iron that. That'll get ruined. Same reason we don't stick it in the dryer is because the heat will melt those fibers. Basically anything super, super soft, for the most part, will melt super, super easy. So there's that. And also certain things like I said, metallic-y fabric might melt, and faux leather and faux suede. Oh, definitely faux suede. Certain things, you just gotta be careful. Alright, so I ironed this one. I'm gonna iron the other side now. Man, I really should just iron all four while I'm at it. Like these two also. Well, in this case, I want to at least move this a little so it's out of my face. It looks great. That's good. Iron fake leather, I dare you. I said that before you... Right? I knew you were going to challenge me. I just knew. Yeah. It can be done. However... It is so easy to burn. Like, you gotta get it at that perfect temperature where it actually does the folds or, like, the flatten, whatever ironing you're trying to do to it. That perfect temperature to actually get it to affect it and not burn it. It's very, 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 very hard. I have had some practice with it somewhat recently, and I would not recommend 0 out of 10. Too hard, honestly. My arm just keeps getting in the shot here. Sorry about that. But yeah, so while it's possible to do, I don't suggest it. Also, when you're ironing, make sure you don't leave the iron face down like this. That's how you burn things. I have accidentally did that. When I first started ironing years ago, I did that, and I put a big burn mark right on the ironing board table. Which was really funny. I don't have that ironing board table anymore. At least not with me, but maybe someday I'll show you guys. If I feel like it and if I remember, I'll bring it out. It's just a big scorch mark right on the ironing board itself. So did anybody hear about that Game Boy emulator that was supposedly a Nintendo Game Boy emulator that got found? Now people are thinking that there's going to be a... Switch Online might have Game Boy games on it. I don't know. That sounds pretty sick to me. I love Game Boy. Game Boy is great. And make sure you're wearing the fabric before you iron it, right? Okay, so this is some fun ironing. Wow, I love ironing. It's almost like I'm not bored. I definitely put on something usually in the background when I'm ironing, because ironing is not one of the more fun things to do. I feel like I say that all the time, like, this part of the fursuit making is awful, and I want to distract myself because it's so tedious and boring. But, like, why do I love fursuit making then if I just keep saying how much I don't like I think I just stress myself out for no reason. I think I really do like it, though. Interesting. Like, that would be very cool if they really did put Game Boy Advance on the Switch. Because then I could not have to emulate it, and then I could still stream it without having to deal with emulating that. Alright, I know I just, like, ironed these. and then I just throw them up in a pile right here, like, but don't worry, they're not gonna crease that quickly. Surely they won't. Alright, so here's the little doggy fabric. It looks like little spots from there. It's so tiny. Tiny little dog heads. They're so cute. Yeah, if you've got some seriously intense wrinkles and if you have a steam iron, go for it. It really won't hurt it at all. In fact, it will be very beneficial to you. But really, for the most part, you can get most of it out with just your standard dry iron. You hacked your 3DS, so I'm not terribly desperate for it, but I definitely want it. Right? I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with emulators because I'm able to... I like the ability, like the freedom of it, to be able to rewind... Well, not rewind, but, you know, like use previous save states and speed up, slow down. I'm not sure if the emulators they release for the Game Boy Advance will have all that. But it would be really nice if they did, because... I'm just saying, there's a few Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games I would like to play, but, like, the saving is so far in between, it's, like, such a pain. I don't know if I could play that without, like, it needs to be modernized, really, like, with more save spots, but I don't know if I could bear to put myself through it without having save states, is all I'll say about that. But, I don't know. There's really no telling what kind of... If they put Game Boy Advance in there, I don't know what kind of emulators they'll use and what they'd be capable of. Hopefully they would be pretty good. I mean, the Nintendo 64 one wasn't that bad, right? Kind of like Sonic games. They're not that bad. But yeah, I am just dying to play that new Sonic game that's... I just want to see it. I just like Sonic, and I'm excited. I hope that the new Sonic... What is it? Frontier or something? I'm hoping that the new Sonic game will be fun. I mean, it better be, right? If they're sinking that amount of budget into it. By the way, has anybody even gotten to play Cyberpunk 2077 yet? I have not played it, but I keep seeing it in, like, the store for, like, pretty decent price. I just wonder if they, like, patched that yet? If it's any good yet, or if it's still kind of like a... You kind of... Yeah, you should wait. You homebrewed your Wii last week? Dude, that's something I've been wanting to do forever. I got a red Wii just recently. Well, I mean, a few months ago, but... You can play more GameCube game with your actual system. Yeah! I love that. I can't wait to do that. I am so jealous right now. That sounds fun. You know, the Wii U was the first time I ever played a Mega Man game. I got Mega Man 2 on my Wii U, and that was the first time, and I loved it. And every time, to this day, when I still boot up my Wii U, which is probably more often than most people, I do boot up Mega Man 2 because it's on the menu there, and I'm like, oh yeah. Like, these older consoles, it's weird to me thinking of Wii U as an older console, but I guess it technically is. I think they're still super cool. And I like that you can homebrew these things to still be able to give them some life. You can use them longer and do more fun things with them. They're not completely useless anymore, like... That's why I think homebrew is a cool thing. Especially if it's, you're trying to use it to play, either homemade games or, like, by the community, or games that you can't buy anymore because they're just not for sale. Some games they just take down and you just can never play them unless you have some kind of, save, emulator on your computer or, like, a hacked Wii or something. I played Cyberpunk at launch, but I haven't played since patches. I still wouldn't recommend it. That's really funny. Good to know, because I was kind of curious about how that was faring. So I actually heard there's some issues with homebrewing the Renn Wii. Oh no! What the heck? Why? Is it because it's a later release, maybe? I mean, I guess I could see that. Alright, so this fabric, it's slightly thinner than the other ones. So I just gotta make sure that, again, I'm not using, like, super hot heat. It would be fine, but anyways, I'm just gonna still be careful that I don't accidentally stay in one place for a long time letting it sit, because I don't want to burn it. Since it's thinner, it's probably more susceptible to getting burned, so... And it probably will only burn fabrics if it's, like, really sitting on there for a long time. But... yeah, still be careful with your fabrics, because, geez, fabrics are expensive. Like, $10 a yard, usually. Or sometimes more, sometimes less, but I'd say the median is $10 a yard. It's like... so trying to make some bandanas is just so more expensive than you'd think. Interesting. Had to do some changes made to it. Some methods trying to homebrew it would apparently brick it. Yikes! Then you have a red brick, because it's bricked and it's red. That's unfortunate. I didn't know about that. If I have trouble, I could just swap the shell, honestly, onto a regular white Wii. I mean, the red Wii is pretty cool, but if it's, like, gonna be a problem, you know, like, I don't think there's, I mean, I don't think it really matters too much if I swapped the innards with the shell. Something cool I did recently was my brother and I got some, new shells to replace our Switch Pro controller shells, because we wanted to customize them, and that turned out really cool. I'm sorry, I'm blocking the camera totally right now. I just realized. So here's my new Switch Pro controller. It looks, I mean, it's got regular innards, but, like, the front is unique. So it's really cool. I like it a lot. But I think customizing controllers is very fun, but it does take a little bit of knowledge. You gotta know how to take stuff apart. Frankly, though, out of all the things I've taken apart a handful of different kinds of controllers. PS3, PS4, the Wii, GameCube, a DS Lite. Out of all of those, well, I'm scared to do the 3DS, but I'm gonna try it one day. So far, honestly, the Wii was the hardest. It really was. It's like multi-tiered and it's just bizarre. It's really, it's not easy to take apart. Would not recommend that either. That's another thing CloverCat does not recommend. Don't take apart your Wii unless you feel like you're really smart, cause... Okay. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I don't know why this one's taking longer to iron, because it's thinner. I thought it would not, you know, I thought the heat would go through faster, whatever. I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist. Obsessed with the custom controllers back in the PS3 days. Right? There's some still really cool shells for the PS3 controllers. The Pro controller can be slightly tricky, but it's not hard to figure out. Yeah, honestly, I agree. It was a little bit weird at first, but, like, then I took it apart several times, so it's not that bad. It's a good... Controllers are a good spot to start, I would say, for taking stuff apart. You had to take yours apart when you got it? Why? Why? Were you checking to see if it was a fake one? Because I did get a fake one on accident, and I took it apart, and I was, like, checking and make sure if it was real, and I was like, yeah, this is not. I got a second-hand Splatoon controller. It was fake, though, but boy, it looked very convincing. It's just bizarre. Like, that, I mean, really, it was very, very, very close to an official one. It was hard to tell. It's kind of scary if you think about it. I don't want to accidentally be sold fake knockoff things because they're so good looking. They look just like the original. It's just a little bit nerve-wracking, a little. Alright, we're almost done with this, and this is the last one, and then we can actually go cut them again. So it's not going to be super bad. I may have dropped it, and something started rattling inside. That's not good! That would explain why you'd have to take it apart, just in case. Yikes! That's scary. I mean, it still works, right? So that's good. Okay. Come on. Right at the end here. I have a Skylander that's... it's kind of rare. I mean, it's not super duper ultra rare, but it is rare on the rarer side. It's called Polar Whirlwind. So, Whirlwind is like a... it's kind of like a dragon unicorn. And this Skylander is a white version of it, so it's called Polar Whirlwind instead of just regular Whirlwind. Anyways, when I got it, I mean, obviously was used, but, like, it did have a rattle. Like, if you shook it, and it makes you wonder, what kind of loose parts could there possibly be in a Skylander piece, other than the NFC chip itself? Which is not great, because you don't want to imagine the NFC chip just being loose in there. But I've never heard of another Skylander that rattled like that. And I have a lot of Skylanders, and I've seen a lot of Skylanders. So it's just very curious, isn't it? What makes it rattle? Oh, it was only a screw that came loose. Oh, that's good. Okay, that could have been way worse. I was thinking, like, probably a piece of the plastic came out or something. Okay, guys. I've got this ironed. I'm going to unplug the iron before I damage myself. And I'm going to put it out of the way. Okay. So, I've got to reorganize this. I need my big spot on the floor again so that I can fold these things up and cut them. Okay. I guess I'll just stick this here. Oh, I'm hitting this head. Okay. We're good. Floor cam. But yeah, I had a lot of fun taking those apart. The Pro controllers, because they were easy. In comparison to other things I've done before. Yeah. The Wii U was definitely the hardest. And I've taken apart my computer many times, and my brother's computer, friends' computers, whatever. Anytime they need new thermal paste, or they need to clean out the fans because they're clogged up or something. Yeah, I mean, I've taken apart a decent amount of electronics, but never again. I would definitely want, like, an assistant to help me with the Wii, because that was something else, let me tell you. Alright, so we're gonna go back to one cam. Cool. Still a bit dark, isn't it? That's so weird. I have all the lights set up proper. At least I thought I did. Clover fighting the camera forever. The TV show. Okay. You have DS games with the same problem? What? Really? DS games that rattle like that? That's kind of scary. Alright, so first off, I'm cutting off the selvage. Not hard, because the selvage edge is usually very visible. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see, but definitely just do your best to cut off all the unnecessary, like, machine grabbed piece, this white strip on the end here. So after I cut off the selvage edge, I'm going to put the other one on top. Well, Actually, I should probably lay the other half of the fabric out for the other half of the Bandannas fabric. Okay, almost at the end. Good. Yeah, I liked the Sonic 2 movie. It was okay. It wasn't as good as I had hoped, but it was still good. I mean, it seems very much like they're going to make a third one. I would not hate it, but also I'm kind of indifferent. I think I would like it a lot, but yeah, I am indifferent. I'll just leave it at that, because it's just, where would they go with that, you know? I mean, they could drag in Shadow, I guess, but it's still, I don't know if I would like it. I'm just saying, they're walking a very thin line here, because there's like a kind of Sonic movie that I think we all wanted, which was like 100% within Sonic's universe, but that's not what we got. Hi.
We were gonna make mac and cheese. Do you want some too?
I'll have some after my stream.
That's what, no, yeah, I know.
Thank you.
I just want to know whether to make some for you or not.
Thank you. They have offered me the mac. There Felgo's feeding me again. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Sonic 2. What about Sonic 2? I was complaining about something. Oh, yeah. I think from the very beginning, what most of us wanted was a movie where it was completely CG and it was all in Sonic's world. But instead, we got this kind of half Alvin and the Chipmunks, like real life versus like the CG people coming into the real life people, and it kind of, like, the thing is, there's a scene where, like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a scene where the humans, it's kind of near the end of the movie, like, have to save Sonic from something, but, like, they didn't need that. Like, Sonic actually had it on his own. They just needed to throw the humans in there because, why? Because the humans are in the script. You can't take them out of the script now, so now you have to throw the humans in somewhere, and they kind of wrote themselves into a very awkward position because now they've got these human characters, and so now when they're trying to add in all the Sonic characters, there's too many characters. I did stay for the credits. I always stay for the credits. I just don't want to do any spoilers. Oh, yeah, let me know how that PS4 fix goes. I wanted to know. Because that's kind of not good. Okay, I figured there was a third one. Given that the cliffhangery end of the second one, I figured they were making a third one, but a Knuckles TV series? What? I mean, interesting. I won't argue it, but why? I mean, I guess. Okay. So now we'll just fold in this corner. Hopefully you guys can see most of this. Okay. Good. And now I'm going to cut it straight over here. So cutting off all this excess here will make it nice and square. That's what we're going for. I'm wondering how other fursuit makers do this. Like, do they struggle as much as me? Do they have a sewing table? I don't know. Maybe one day I could get a sewing table and I won't have to suffer as much. Like, getting on the ground just because I need a big workspace, but just curious. I really don't watch a lot of other YouTube videos of other fursuit makers, really. I don't know why. I just don't. I kind of just prefer to blaze my own path and find out wrong things on my own, but I don't know. It's probably not the smartest thing, but I guess that's just how I work. Alright, and I'm going to trim this side down too. Yeah, this is definitely a good one to watch something with, whatever. Just kind of take it easy, because this is quite the process of slowness You didn't mind the humans. They were kind of cringe, but it just felt like adventure to me. Dude, yeah, the entirety of Sonic Adventure was pretty cringe. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind the humans either. They weren't bad actors. Well, I mean, they were fine. But it's just not what I wanted. That wouldn't be my ideal Sonic movie. That's just my complaint. I'm just saying, though, that if they wanted to come up with a different story, now they're kind of stuck with this human world. They did that to themselves, so if they try to write their way out of it, I don't know how they would. But whoever's writing those, they have a great sense of humor. For the most part. I could care less when they start flossing or whatever, but for the most part, they kept the films pretty entertaining. Like this part of the second film where this guy rips off his shirt and he has a tattoo of himself on himself, and that made me laugh out loud. That was really funny. Like, the writers are doing pretty good. Like, lots of good setup and payoff. I definitely don't have a complaint about it. It's just kind of weird how humans are always so interconnected into the Sonic universe. It's just, I mean, I shouldn't complain. I'm just kind of speaking out loud my thoughts about it. Okay, so I've got this triangles. I'm gonna cut it in half, so I'll have 2 triangles. Wow! Let me check the chat. I don't feel like the movie ever needed to be a masterpiece. That's true. My cousin and I kept making jokes because several plot elements felt like Sonic Shoe. I know the name. I know the name and that's it. But that's really funny. Okay. How am I supposed to cut this? I don't have enough space here. I am crowded. Literally trying to fit in here is just so hard. One day I'll have a sewing room. My own sewing room. Because right now this is just kind of like a room of everything I own in one spot. Like, I just need another room. Like, so I can have regular desk supplies and regular other things. And then just a sewing room that's just for my projects and fursuit making and stuff, because this stuff takes too much space. So, although I could get a measuring thing to, like, try to cut this straight, I'm just cutting it across even here, right in the middle. I mean, this works. Just like the Sonic movie, we're not trying to make a masterpiece. I love that. That's the best way to explain the Sonic movie, seriously. Oh, I'm so thirsty. When I'm done cutting this, I'm gonna have to get a drink. I have just been craving so much mac and cheese lately. I just haven't had enough. Sorry I can't really check the chat right now. I just need to finish this line first. We're getting there. Well, let me check first. When you have your own house, your whole house will be one big sewing room. Seriously, that's honestly a true statement. I would completely do that. Okay, in my ideal world, I would have whatever the smallest bedroom is, that would be my bedroom. I don't need a master bedroom. I would have my master bedroom in my house being my sewing room, because it has a bathroom attached and it's the biggest room in the house. It's got the biggest closet where I could like hang up fursuits and put fursuit heads and stuff in there. Alright, so now we've got these 2 triangles, so we can make 2 separate fursuit bandanas. Yay, out of these. So if you were just using one fabric for the front and back, you would not have cut that. It would have just been, that's it. That's what we're going to sew together. But if you're using 2 fabrics, you're going to want to cut that so you have the 2 triangles. So we're just going to use one for Renn because we don't need both. So I'm going to put this other one aside. You and your dumb jokes are entertaining me, so I do want to keep getting up and checking the chat. Alright. Cute. We got the little puppers here. I already cut the selvage edge off of this one, so I don't have to do that again on this. Thankfully. We'll just go right to the next step. Sonic is just something I'm very passionate about, so I just want to see the very best for it as possible. So that's why I'm kind of like... That's why I'm kind of heavy on critique for it. I just want it to be so good. And honestly, I really could not have asked for better. If they left that model for Sonic looking the way it did originally, I would be very upset, but since, I mean, they really did do a good job on the Sonic films, and that's really good. I'm even into the voice actors, like, okay, the voice actor for Knuckles was not very great for me at first. I was kind of complaining. I did not like it, but I got used to it, and now I think it's pretty good. But it was just weird at first. I don't know if that was just me, or if anybody else thought it felt kind of strange at first. It just, I don't know how to explain it other than it just didn't seem like Knuckles to me, but yeah, I got used to it. Took me a whole film, but by the end I was used to it. And Avengers, I like you and your dumb jokes, so I will keep getting up to check the chat for them. I didn't expect a huge turnout tonight because, frankly, anytime I stream at midnight, not a lot of people can make it. It really just depends on my sleep schedule and how busy I am. Today was busy. Every day is busy, actually. I've been very, very, very busy lately. Trying to get some stuff done. Trying to get these fursuits done. Just takes a lot of time. As I'm sure you guys realize by how long it's been taking me to make this one fursuit on stream. Just... It definitely has been taking a while. Okay, so I got this piece. So I'll cut this one in half now. Frankly, you think the movies are the only decent thing to come out of the brand for a while. Honestly, I think you're so right. Since Sonic Mania, that's the best thing that's come out. Yeah, I think he worked. I think he did a good job as Knuckles. Just took me a minute to get used to him. Everybody knows that guy's name except me, and I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm not gonna try. I don't even know who that is. Apparently, everybody knows who that is, though, so... The guy that voiced Knuckles, like... Should I know who this is? Also, I feel like it'd be a crime to play Sonic Frontier... or Frontiers, whatever it is, without having played Breath of the Wild yet. So, I kind of need to get on that. I've owned it for the longest time, I just haven't played it. I've got a backlog of games, and yikes. That is a long one. So, the games that are longer, I tend to put at the very end of my backlog, because I know it'll take me a long time to beat. But really, I just need to get on that before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out and Sonic Frontiers, and I haven't played Legends Arceus yet. I've been wanting to, but after Diamond and Pearl, I was so dismayed by the brand that I just didn't want to buy Arceus, which was kind of sad. He's a famous actor, best known from The Office, but he's been in lots of stuff. Interesting. You played Breath of the Wild, dang it. Okay, fine, Dad. How can I argue with that? Alright, one of these sides I already cut the selvage edge off. Oh, it was this one. Nice. Okay, I'm glad I made myself a little bit more room here. And I'm glad I ironed these. Sad. I just hate ironing. It just takes a long time, and I always have that instilled fear in me that I'm gonna burn myself again. Thank you, Jasper, for dropping an iron on me. Okay, but that wasn't even my fault. Like, I'm so careful with the iron. I've never actually burned myself, really. It was only until he knocked the iron on me that I got burned. So, but I have cut myself many times on X-Acto blades and scissors, so I'm not completely not careless. I'm just saying, Jasper is out to end me. Okay. So part of the way you can tell this is straight is if it lines up on this edge, and if it lines up straight on this edge. Which it is, so that's good. I usually start with this edge over here, like the big one, and then I do a tiny little cut, tiny little cleanup on the other side. Because no matter what, it's never going to be completely straight, especially after you wash it on that edge. So I will usually do just a small edge straightening on that side. I want to play the new, I guess it's not new anymore, the newer Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, I think they called it. Because the first Hyrule Warriors was awesome. But this one's based off of Breath of the Wild, which I haven't played, so I haven't been able to play the new Hyrule Warriors, and I'm just like, ugh! Oh, why do I do this to myself? Okay. So I'm going to trim that side. You didn't like Brilliant Diamond. You've enjoyed what you played of it. Yeah, it's just not what I wanted. Same with... It's the same thing as with the Sonic movie. It wasn't bad. In fact, it was good. It's just not what I wanted. At all. Like the Sonic movie, it wasn't exactly what I wanted. But, you know, it was still good and I liked it a lot. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were very much not what I wanted. And I kind of enjoyed it. I still haven't beaten it. I've kind of been working on it slowly, but like, you shouldn't have to force yourself through a video game, you know? And I've beaten Pokemon Platinum and Diamond, the originals, many times. And I really like those games. But something about the new one, it's just soulless. And of course, these are all my personal opinions, but like, so if you like it, go ahead. That's totally fine. More power to you. I wish I could like it like that. I just don't. I don't know. Just doesn't feel right to me. It's really just feels boring. I just think Pokemon could do so much better. And I don't know. I just think they could do better with remakes. Like, I thought the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire ones were really good for remakes, and for remakes Heart Gold Soul Silver were really good, and I don't know, Diamond and Pearl's remake is just kind of falls flat. There's just not much to added to it. In fact, they took out the Grand Underground, and that made me really sad. I mean, it's there, but it's nerfed. It's not the same. It's not what it was. And that's the one thing, that's legitimately the one main thing I was looking forward to the most for this series reboot, or the remake. And they didn't have it. It didn't exist, and I was sad. So I guess I'm just a bit salty. Boy, trying to cut this is not easy when it's... Like, I should probably run an iron over this to try to flatten the edge, but instead here I am just going at it. Whew. Oh yeah, I was gonna get a drink. I'm so thirsty. Ah! Age of Calamity doesn't follow Breath of the Wild story much. Oh, that's good. Do you think it would, like, would it give any spoilers or anything to characters, or... Sorry, I was thirsty. Gengar and Machamp. Oh, yeah, we gotta do that. I forgot the trait evolutions. I know, I need a Machamp. So, story for the people who don't know. I tell my brother this story. Long ago, when the Wii was the main console, and the Nintendo DS, there was a game called Pokemon Battle Revolution. And back then, obviously, you're playing on your DS, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and it was sprites, you know? I mean, that's fine. We got used to it, whatever. But this game, Pokemon Battle Revolution for the Wii, let you connect your Diamond and Pearl, and Platinum probably, I don't know if I've tried it, cartridges, and you got to play with your Pokemon on the big screen, just like, Pokemon Coliseum, and it was awesome. Like, you got to, it's like, now we kind of take it for granted with, like, Sword and Shield is, I mean, it's already, every battle is already in a full 3D space. It's not like you need Battle Revolution, like we used to need it, to try to experience 3D battles, but, like, it was just wild. Like, back then, that was a huge, awesome accomplishment in the way of gaming. Like, the fact that you could connect 4DS lights with this game and all play together on the big screen, it was just so cool. And we'll never see anything like that again, because the newer games like Sword and Shield, it's already on the big screen. Like, it's already 3D. You probably won't appreciate Age of Calamity if you don't play Breath of the Wild first, but I wouldn't say there's spoilers. Oh, that's interesting. Well, honestly, I'm mostly in it for the gameplay of the Warriors, Hyrule Warriors. I mean, at least compared to the first Hyrule Warriors game, because I played that one to death, and that one wasn't super great on story either. I just played it for the gameplay. Anyways, growing up, I couldn't afford Battle Revolution because games back then, new Wii games, $50. Wow! That used to be bad. That used to be expensive. $50 for a new first-party title game. I didn't get Smash Bros. Brawl until the end of the Wii's life cycle because I didn't want to drop the $50 on it, and it never went down. Like, the price never went down. And the same with Battle Revolution, but it was like the party game. Like, you and your friends having a party or something, you would all bring your DS lights over with Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum and just battle on the big screen. It was a blast. It was simpler times. And now that I do have that game, I do play it, but the difference is, you know, people don't play the originals anymore, because back in the day when it was not a dead game, everybody used to play it all the time, constantly together, because that's what was brand new and popular, was that Diamond and Pearl was brand new. It was very fun. But yeah, since it's not like everybody carries around their DS lights with that game anymore, is what I'm saying. So it's not, you can never get that same feeling back. Anyways, that's what it was like to be my age. Growing up in the era of the 4th generation of Pokemon. I got Pokemon Blue. I had Pokemon Blue for years, but I could never get past a certain point. And I always, as a kid, just assumed the cartridge was broken or something. I have no idea. I haven't played it since, so I doubt the cartridge is broken. I bet I'm just stupid. But it is a legitimate cartridge. I've checked that. That's what Stadium and Coliseum did too. Yeah, I played Pokemon XD. That one was a fun one. They let you battle in 3D. Yeah. That's why they haven't done a game like that since Battle Revolution. It's not cool to battle in 3D anymore, right? Like, that was a huge, huge thing. Like, the jump from 2D to 3D, like, that, enough on its own was enough to just sell Battle Revolution. But it would be really cool if they made some kind of, like, I don't even know what they would do with this. Just some kind of, like, Battle Revolution DLC for Diamond and Pearl, where you're in, like, special battlefields or some kind of, I don't know, competition. Make something cool, unique, and special. Name it after Battle Revolution. I don't know. I was just throwing this out here. I haven't brainstormed it, but you could do something like that. Add more unique animations and release them with the Battle Revolution update. That would be really, really, really cool. Alright, this is mostly straight, so I only have to cut it a little bit. Well, I'm going to cut it all the way down Anyways. Yeah, you know what else was $50 on release was Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. A book series, turned into a film, and also was given a few video games. It released at the very tail end of the Wii's life cycle, and it looked gorgeous. I'm just saying, even as a kid, I knew, like, it really did look beautiful. But the thing is, that $50 game that I got because, okay, I wouldn't buy Battle Revolution, I wouldn't buy Smash Bros. For $50 full price, but one of my favorite series of all time that got a video game, heck yes, I'll pay $50 for that. So, I bought that brand new $50 Guardians of Ga'Hoole game, and I did love it. It wasn't the greatest. You could beat the whole thing in 3 hours, but technically you're in this world of the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, and I loved that, and it made me so happy. And yeah, that game quickly dropped to $10. And Smash did not, and neither did a lot of the other good first-party Nintendo games. So really, I should have bought something else and then bought the Guardians of Ga'Hoole when it was on sale later, but gosh darn it, I really wanted those owls, I guess. I liked those owls fighting. Hit red triangle. Right? Cut it out. Cut. Yeah. Wait, Scarlet and Violet are this year? Seriously? I like Pokemon games, I do, but stop that. Get help. Wouldn't it be great if they just stopped? Just stopped. And then actually took some time to develop a game and make it nice? Like, I'm just saying, you'll never see such a content-heavy game as Black and White again because they're not interested in making content-heavy games. They just want a new release every year, like Call of Duty. And that makes me sad. Because I used to love the Pokemon games, but they just feel so stale because they aren't adding anything that exciting. At least in my opinion. I don't know. In my opinion. Okay, red triangle. Okay, so now we've got all these pieces. So it's time to put them together. We got the red triangle and the flower triangle. And I'm going to get out my clips. Definitely recommend the clips for this one. Not the pins, but what do I know? I just really like the clips. I think they usually turn out much better in the end. Okay. Oh. Okay, I did it wrong. So you want to sandwich the correct side, the right side of the fabric, facing in. See, my mistake was, I'm on the floor working on something and I didn't vacuum first. So I've got like little bits of fabric and furs, tiny little, I should have vacuumed first. I mean, it's fine, it's just causing me extra strife. There we go. Alright. Clean this up. So you're going to put the correct sides of the fabric facing in together like this. You're just going to line it up the best you can. And because every fabric is slightly different, your triangles may not match up, and you might have to cut and straighten the edge on them, and that's okay. Because some fabrics are like, when you get it brand new off the roll, it's like 56 inches wide, or some of them are like 42, or I'm just throwing numbers out, but they're all different numbers of widths. So, alright, so I can tell right now that this flower one is slightly bigger than the red one. So, in that case, I'm gonna actually flip this over so I can see the trim here. So yeah, see how the red one is a little bit smaller than the flower one? That's okay. We're just gonna have to do a little bit of trimming. We need them to line up. Alternatively, you could sew it and then trim it after. Honestly, maybe that would work out better, to be honest. Yeah, I guess I could do either. So either you can pin it now and sew it and then trim it, or trim it and then... Okay. Looks fine to me. I'm going to trim it. And just because it's going to be a little bit harder for me to get this perfectly the way I want if I don't do it now. I'm going to lay it out properly, and then I'm going to trim it, and then I'm going to pin it. There's like 1,000,001 ways to make stuff, so if you prefer to do it the opposite way where you pin it and then you sew it, it's all sewn up and then you trim the edges, that's fine. I just prefer, personally, when it's all straight ahead of time. Okay, got it. So now I get my box of pins, and I'm just going to go all the way around. Kill all the Pokemons! Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Arceus, Scarlet Violet were all developed by 3 different teams. Really? Uh-oh. I don't necessarily think they need to release so many, but it's not because they are being quick and lazy like Call of Duty. Okay, that's good. That is a good point to make. I know Arceus was Game Freak, and Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl was Ilka, but if there's a 3rd team working on Violet, Scarlet, that's interesting. I want to know what team these are, and I'm very curious if their game is going to turn out well. I can't help it. After Diamond and Pearl remakes, I kind of got a little bit defensive. Now I'm just kind of like, who's making the game? How long do they have to make it? Are they actually going to try? It's not that they were bad games. It's just that I think they could have had more. At the very least, like, the real Grand Underground. I just think it was kind of bare bones for a release. I did like that I didn't have to slather honey trees forever to get a tree Munchlax, though, because that was true pain. Like, and Munchlax is one of my favorite Pokemon, so not having to deal with the tree thing was nice, but at the same time, some people might like having to deal with the tree thing, so I don't know, whatever you do, you're going to split the fan base. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. I think I'm more on the negative side, but I do still like it to a point. I'm very curious about Scarlet and Violet, though. I'm wondering what that's going to be like. Because Pokemon has been going by the same formula for so long. Now they're switching it up with, like, the Arceus style, and it's different. Very, very different. Everything is getting different. And that's a good thing, because it's just been the same for so long that people are just dying for something new. So it's going to be very cool to see what they come up with, and I hope it will be fun. Because they've had all these years to refine the formula of the Pokemon battles, but it's what you do outside of battles, too, that matters. Okay, I might need some more pins. Kind of getting low here. So when we sew this, we're going to sew it all the way around, all 3 sides, except we do need to leave a gap so we can turn the thing inside out again. And where you leave that gap is completely up to you, but I do suggest that you put it in a place that will cause the least amount of trouble if somebody notices the seam. Depending on how good you are at sewing the hidden seam, you're not going to want it right here on the top, right where your neck is, because this part that folds over, you want it to look really nice. But, like, obviously you don't want it at the tip down here. Maybe if you put it kind of, like, right in here, near the top, it would kind of hide any awkward seam you had. So let's do that. Let's plan the seam right here. And when I make a seam spot, I usually, to let myself know where the seam is going to be, like the part where I'm not going to sew, I usually put 2 clips here. Like I double clip it. And that's just for me when I'm sewing it. I'm like, oh yeah, double clip. Okay, from here to here is where I'm not going to sew, so I can turn this thing inside out. Okay, so that's one of them. We just got to pin the other one now. Oh, you've been learning guitar. What? That's fun. I haven't played guitar since I was in high school. That was good times. Do you have an electric or an acoustic? You think with BDSP they weren't interested in changing it much. They just wanted to make a black for black remake. I'm not even sure if fans hadn't been I'm not even sure they would have made it if fans hadn't been begging for it. True. The fans are like, make this! Personally, I like it. It's just a personal taste thing. That's fine, yeah. I'm glad you like it. That's good. I'm glad somebody likes it. I don't want it to be a complete waste of time, you know? Just like some people like those puzzle-y games. Oh, God. Most puzzle games drive me crazy. Like, I'm talking about point-and-click adventure puzzle games. Those drive me absolutely insane. I could never complete one. But some people, it's their favorite thing. So, you know, to each their own, and that's just wonderful. Alright, so here's the doggo ones. Put the right side facing up. And here's these scratchy ones that looks kind of like Renn's marking on her face. Put that right side in. So the backings should be on the outside and the insides should be sandwiched together. And it looks like the gray one is the slightly larger one again this time, so interesting. So I'm just gonna flip this. Yeah, see that you can see the overhang over here. So whatever side has the overhang, I'll usually flip that side and then I can cut it straight. If I can lay this straight, at least I'm trying to lay it flat. Okay. And these edges that you're cutting, it's okay if they're a little bit, just a little bit like janky or frayed a little, because they are going to be on the inside. But if they're kind of moderately frayed, you're going to want to not put that in because it's not going to hold on. You're going to need it to be not frayed. I mean, slightly is fine, but for the most part, if it's frayed pretty badly, you're going to need to cut it. Because you do not want it to be frayed. It will be bad. Interesting. So I'm going to chop this again. Yeah, if you try to like sew over a frayed spot, it's literally just like sewing over air. It's not gonna hold. It's completely pointless. So yeah, after I'm done cutting this one, I'll pin it up and then we can move on over to the sewing machine. I have been working on Renn's face off stream. I've just been sewing most of the pelt together, and I do have a log of hours I've spent off stream so that we know for sure how long it took me to make this costume. And I am not quite sure how long I've been on stream. I'm gonna have to count my stream hours, but off stream alone, I've spent 26 hours on Renn's costume. So, next time you're like, why is this fursuit so expensive? That's why. Alright. Okay, I'm glad I ironed those first, because right now I'd be ironing them again, and that would suck. Last time you played was high school. It's acoustic. I have an old electric too, but I don't have anything to make it work. Oh! I don't know. Probably at least another half an hour to sew all this. Who knows? I'm sorry. Don't feel like you need to stay with me, though, because, you know, it's kind of late, so... I appreciate you hanging out with me, though. I mean, that's nice of you. It's usually pretty slow at night, so it's like... Especially now, it's awesome that you're willing to hang out with me. But if you do need to go, that's totally fine. You know me, I can make conversation with myself. So, but I do appreciate you, you were kind of hanging out with me for a while there. Basically all stream, actually. Thank you. Alright. Me looking down and my chin gets stuck in the bandana. So, I think most of this is good. I'm gonna need to grab my other set of pins because I'm running out. Just a little bit short here. This one's good. Okay. Well, I'll put 2 more pins in there. Alright, so there's a little bit of an edge discrepancy here, so I'm going to have to cut this a little bit right along this edge. I'm going to do that before I get my pins because I'm already on the floor here. I'm already looking at it. I'm ready to straighten this edge. Yeah, so usually what I did before was I would make the bandana by I would iron it at this stage when I was trying to make it all flat together, but honestly, ironing it before seems to have worked probably better, so I am glad that someone in the chat was like, yeah, do it now. Thank you. Alright, almost done with this edge, thankfully. And good. I keep almost taking carpet with me, and that's not great. I don't want to take the carpet. You cut the carpet, you don't get your deposit back on your apartment. I'm already worried I'm not going to get the deposit back because I've stained the tub blue. Now I'm going to do the best I can to unstain the tub blue, but I don't think it's going to be possible. The struggle of colored hair, though. I will try my best. I did find some kind of chemical that worked pretty well last time. I was trying to undye the tub, but... Oh no, I'm sorry! I'll just send you a Discord message. We can figure it out. The time I would be passing through would probably be... it would be Sunday. Next Sunday. But I don't know what time, and I don't know if I'm even close enough to make it worth it. I just know that I'm going to a wedding past that way, so... I will send you a message and we'll figure it out. Use a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Honestly, though, I was thinking about it. Alright, let me grab more clips here. Magic Eraser will get off almost everything. Okay. Clips. What do I need to do? Oh, I need to clip this side. Yeah, these rainbow clips are my off-brand clips, and then the green ones are my official Clover brand Wonder Clips, which, by the way, I didn't even notice was a thing. When I named myself Clover, I had no idea there was a sewing company named Clover. That was completely unplanned. They sell, like, sewing needles and sewing supplies. So I thought that was pretty funny. I had nothing to do with that. There we go. Okay, I was worried that the dogs was a little bit overhanging. It's not that bad, but I will straighten the edge just a tiny bit at the tip here. There we go. That'll make it a little bit straighter. Sorry I don't have a camera down here for you guys. But we're almost done clipping it. So now we're going to go over to the sewing machine and sew. Oh yeah, let's decide where I want to put the edge, like the part where we turn it inside out. And I'm going to say let's put it, well, we don't want it at this neck piece, the long piece. And we don't want it near the bottom, so if we put it up near the top, maybe like right here. Yeah, let's put it right here. So I'm just going to put 2 pins next to each other, just like last time. Double pin it so that I know exactly where that little gap is going to be. Okay, now to the sewing machine. That would be this upcoming Sunday. it's coming up. Just a few days from now, like 4 days or so. Also, I'm going to be at Cedar Point a lot this summer, and I would love to see you and anybody else who wants to come and hang out. That would be very cool. Ooh. I'm rolling over stuff. Alright, camera cam, switch. 2 cam. There we go. Here I am. Just giant panda in the way. Fun. I knocked my glasses. Would you be able to really quickly message me where it's going to be on Discord? Yeah, let's just do that. I think... Where's my phone? Where's my phone? That's where my information is. Hang on. I have an image of the address that I can show you. Cool. I have no idea where you are. Hang on. Oh, you sent me a message. Sorry. Alright. That's where it is. I don't know if it's passing you or not, but it is going in that general direction. So if we could make it work, that would be pretty cool. Maybe just get, like, Fazoli's or something. They got Fazoli's down there, right? I know they've got Fazoli's in Ohio and Tennessee. There's, like... I don't think there's one in Michigan, actually. They will not put one in Michigan. For anyone who doesn't know, Fazoli's is, like, a fast food place, but it's for pasta. It's like... If you like Olive Garden because you like pasta, boy, you're sure gonna love this because fast food, affordable pasta to go. It's awesome. I love Fazoli's. There's actually one like really close to Cedar Point that we usually hit up on the way home. Or on the way there. So if anybody ever wanted to meet up, I mean, that's the place. Fazoli's and Cedar Point. Okay. Let me place this camera. Singer. Okay, here we go. You hit Olive Garden today for your mom's birthday. Oh, happy birthday to her. That's funny that I would mention that then. The Olive Garden, right when we were talking about it. Okay, I did send you the info for that, so if you wanted to look, you could. Okay, so for this one, I'm just gonna go with a straight gray. I've got my colors up here. This light gray will do, and then I'll just find the matching bobbin thread. Which one is it? Which one is it? It's this slightly darker one. I need some more threads. I'm kind of running out of options. I mean, there's... Basically, I want some threads that have different makeup, like different materials for different things. Because certain things, like stretch, it's hard to explain, okay? But sometimes, like, I was just sewing through faux leather the other day, and it was bunching up, and that's because I had the wrong, like, I had the right needle, but I had the wrong thread. And most of the time, threads are just general purpose, honestly, but once in a while, you need some different kinds of thread. Okay, so this is the one with the little doggies on one side and the little cross hatches on the other. So let's just start. I like to find the edge that I double marked right here. That's our starting point. So we can go all the way around the triangle and end here. So how far away do you need the starting and the ending point to be? Like how much space do you need to be able to turn this inside out? It depends on what you're working on. I'm gonna guess 3 inches for this one. So I'm not gonna go straight all the way up there, but I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'll start like right here. Because I don't think I need that huge gap to turn this tiny little bandana inside out. Okay. Let's go. Okay, then went back just a little bit. That's how you that's how you tie it. You gotta back shift just a little bit. And that'll keep it from coming loose. Oh man. You know what would be great is if this bandana wasn't falling on me as I was trying to sew it. Alright. Alright, once I get a few stitches in, I always check to make sure that it's actually not, like, bunched up or messed up or broken. Sometimes it bubbles up if the thread's too loose, or it snaps if the thread's too tight. Basically, just make sure that the stitch looks okay, and then you can keep going if it looks fine, which, in this case, it does. I usually just use the standard settings for this. Just a regular, straightforward stitch with no adjustment to how wide the stitch is. Usually works just fine. So we're just gonna sew this all the way around except that little bit, and then from that little bit we're gonna turn the whole thing inside out. And then we gotta iron it again. You're on the left side of Indianapolis. Oh, and your route would probably be in a different direction. Sad. I mean, oh no. I mean, I wouldn't mind going out of the way, at least up to like an hour or something, if you would be willing to go out of the way a little bit. It would be really fun. I mean, I'd be up for it if you would. Okay, at the end here, do a back stitch just to make sure, in case something snaps later on, you don't have to re-stitch the entire thing, just until that place where you saved. That's like where you saved your information. It's the end of the back stitch there. Okay, this looks good. So let's continue. Looking good. Oh, as desperate as you are to see. I know, I've really been wanting to meet up with you. It's just weird that we haven't yet. We live kind of close, you know? It's not super far. Also, you don't have to go super fast on this. If it's giving you trouble, if it's being a little bit difficult, you can just take your time and go kind of slow. I'm just kind of going fast because I can. Oh yeah, I forgot. We are going to have to stitch it one more. Stitch it again for durability. So after we're done going around, we're going to have to go around at least one more time. Yeah, probably just one more time. We don't need two, because we're going to stitch it again in a minute. The corners can be kind of finicky. Don't go too far into the corner. Like make sure you have your selvage edge, like tiny little bit left here in the corner. If you go too far to the corner, it's just gonna, your machine is just gonna eat that corner. So don't let your machine eat the corner. Okay. Wow, that was just one edge. Oh, it took so long. It's like 3.5 hours. Unfortunately, you still can't drive. Oh, yeah, that's a bit longer than I thought it would be. Like, I wouldn't have minded driving an hour out of the way or so, and then if you drove an hour out of the way, but like, yeah, that's kind of a while. You did to get the stuff, you need to get your driver's permit, so that's progress. That is good. That is very good. It's so nice to be able to drive yourself places. When I didn't have a car for a little while there, because it flooded away, it was just so stressful. So it'll be great. You will be very happy when you have the opportunity to drive. But yeah, don't feel like you need to stay up late for me. I'm just gonna be working here for a little bit longer, so yeah. I really want to play some Sonic games now, because we were talking about it. Someday you'll be able to punch me in person. I can't wait for that moment. Thank you. It's all I've ever wanted. To be punched like a real boy. Alright, I can feel the thread is getting a little bit janky, so I'm gonna go a little slower. I don't know if it's getting stuck on something or what. Thread, why you be like this? I'm actually gonna cut it off. Yikes. Yeah. Something happened. Something happened in there. That's why we go over it multiple times, because sometimes the thread just does that to itself. I think they should try again with Sonic Forces. I think they need a better story writer and more cosmetic options. Like, I think there's hope for Sonic Forces. I think they just need a Sonic Forces 2. I think they can do it. I mean, they can make the story darker. Make it just like E10 plus or make it teen. I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog was rated teen. That was fine. They could do another rated teen. Like the idea of Sonic actually getting beaten horribly by the bad guys is like really cool. Kind of reminds me of Bolt. Like, the producer on Bolt for the Bolt show is like, the people, the ratings are down. People are not happy with Happy. Like, we want to see things go bad for Sonic, and we want to help his team, like, fix the problem. Yeah, you gotta call it. No problem. If you did not, send me another Discord message so that it gives me another notification so I remember to check it. Thank you for hanging out for a while, and good night. I am your fur girl. I'm fur girl. I love that nickname. It is I, fur girl. Okay, so I love He-Man, right? And I was like wondering why He-Man was making a resurgence. And it's actually because I guess they made a new He-Man reboot cartoon. I didn't even know about it. I just thought He-Man was coming back. But I love it, man. He-Man is awesome. At least original He-Man. I don't know anything about the reboot, but yeah. I've got cells of He-Man on my wall. Alright, let's see. How close do I dare to keep this? Maybe 2 inches? Hard to say. I'm trying to decide how big I should make this gaping hole. Because if it's too big, it'll be really hard to make it, like, seamless when we turn it inside out. But if it's too small, it's really hard to turn inside out. Let me see here. 3... I'm gonna make it 2 inches. I'm gonna make it 2 inches, and we'll see if that's big enough. So if you're following along, wait just a second, maybe, to see what happens if I try to turn this out, inside out, with, like, only 2 inches of clearance. Alright. My measuring table is down here, like, my little green mat thing. So that's why I'm holding it over here. I'm trying to measure it. Okay, so this is a little bit under 2 inches. And to turn it inside out... Oh, I think that'll be fine. I would not go under 2 inches, but I think a 2-inch gap would be fine. And I will test that again in just a minute, but first I gotta do a zigzag stitch on this. Then I'll turn the whole thing inside out. We'll see if 2 inches is big enough. Okay, So I've just got some threads hanging off here, and keep your projects clean. Cut the threads as you go. Don't let it pile up, because it can and will get tangled and cause problems. I'm trying to find that spot. I just had it. Here it is. Okay. So here's the 2-inch. Here's the 2-inch gap here. So I'm just gonna zigzag stitch all the way around, and that's just for durability's sake. So if you need to cut an edge straightening, now would be the time. Like if you just sewed it before and you didn't straighten the edges, now you should probably straighten those edges. Okay, so zigzag stitch. I'm just gonna go straight zigzag right here. So 5, I don't know if that means like 5 millimeters or what, but it's gonna be very, very wide. It wants to start me off on a wide one. I want it to be thinner, so I'm gonna hit this stitch width and make that smaller. Actually, I'm gonna put it very, very small. And this one is how far apart each stitch is. That one I will leave the same. Sometimes if I'm having trouble getting through some thicker fabric, I will make it a little bit wider, like some fleece or something, but for the most part, you can usually leave that standard. Of course, this is all with my sewing machine. I don't know how yours would work. And if you're gonna sew by hand, this is a hard thing to sew by hand because the perfection of the lines is like kind of a necessity for bandanas. Okay, cool. So this little tiny baby zigzag is going through there. And it's just gonna give it some extra durability. So I can bring it up over here and I'm gonna just check and look at it, make sure it looks okay. It's kind of hard to see under the camera. Let me move it over here. Okay, let's see. Can you see that? The little zigzag stitch? Yeah. So I could stand to put it a little closer to the line. It's a bit close to the edge here, but yeah, that's what I'm going for. Just that extra durability there and finishing the edges so it doesn't fraze easily. So we're just going to go all the way around with that. Uh-oh. It's making that sound. Once in a while it makes that sound and it's like, yep, the thread's caught on something again. I can hear it. And it might be because I'm not using the proper thread for this. Oh, actually, it's probably because I'm using the wrong needle. I'm actually using a heavy-duty needle, which theoretically is fine, but usually I use the heavy-duty needle for sewing through the thick furs. I don't really use it for, like, sewing through this cotton, you should be using a universal needle. Or a woven needle. I mean, it's the same thing. But so the main thing about needles is you've got your standard universal needles and woven needles. Those are basically the same, made for woven fabric. Like I showed you before, it's kind of got like a crosshair to it, like this, like a grain, like a waffle. That's woven, and it doesn't stretch really. I mean, kind of on the bias, like on the corner, on the edge. Like if you pull it diagonally, it might stretch a little, but for the most part, woven is non-stretch. And then there's knit needles. Those on the ballpoint needles for knit fabrics, which is anything that's kind of stretchy. Like lots of, like even my shirt right now is kind of stretchy. That would be you would need that's like considered a knit, and you'd need like a ballpoint needle for that. But if you were going to sew like my denim jeans, well, first of all, get a heavy duty needle or a denim needle. But if you don't have that, probably a universal, well, I mean, it's kind of stretchy. I would try a universal needle and then I'd try a ballpoint. I don't know. I would try both. But really, you should use a denim needle for that. Because there's specific needles for denim, leather, and heavy duty, and upholstery. And then there's like Microtex, which frankly, I don't even know what that is yet. I've never used it. And there's stretch needles. Stretch needles, oh, they can save your life if you're trying to sew like a balaclava. But for the most part, ballpoint needles will also sew balaclavas. But yeah, so knowing your needles is really hard. There's a lot to know between fabrics and needles, and Yeah, so that's, if you don't want to learn all of this by memorizing or Googling, whatever, just whatever tutorial you're watching, they should probably mention what kind of needles you'll use. So, sewing bandanas for through fleece and flannel, not fleece, flannel or cottons like this. That is just going to be your standard universal needle. Or woven. It could be labeled as either. Alright, and at the corner here, make sure you double back, like back up a little bit, in reverse to save your progress in case it gets ripped or something. So, if you're working on sewing a fabric and you wonder why, like if you have to physically push it through, it's not pushing through, or you have to pull it through yourself because the feed dog isn't pulling it good enough and it keeps getting stuck or messing up your needle. Like either it could break your needle, like because it's not pushing the fabric through fast enough, or it can make the thread into a big tangly mess. Then that might mean your stitches are too close together for what you're trying to do, especially if you're going through thick fabric, especially like fur or something. You might need your stitches to be wider, which is, again, this first button here. So this is stitch width, how wide we're making the zigzag, which it doesn't affect the straight stitch at all because it's the same width. It's just one stitch. But yeah, making that wider or thinner, depending on your fabric. The thicker the fabric, I would say, the wider you need your stitches to be. But for the most part, this is a very easy project to do on a sewing machine. Sorry, extended sewing break right there. I talk for like 20 minutes and then I sew for 20 minutes. I know I talk a lot. I guess that's kind of why I'm here though. I'm just very passionate about making things. Especially if it's related to fursuits. It's just, I guess I just can't stop talking. I'm sorry. So yeah, if your fabric is having trouble getting pulled through and you have to kind of use your fingers to like really push it or pull it from the back, get it to actually go through, that probably means you need to make your stitches wider. And that will help you a lot. It'll really help you to pull it through better. I've been training myself lately, trying different things with different fabrics to try to get an idea of how things work more with general sewing, not just fursuit making. So I've been learning things. Getting there. Sorry. I know this takes a bit. That's why I was doing all the Renn's head sewing fabric for her first, most of that off stream because it just takes so long. And it's not the most exciting to watch, you know? Of course, fursuit making in general is not a glamorous, fun watch for the most part. Like, to get entertainment out of it, you really do have to speed it up if you're gonna watch somebody make a fursuit. Unless they're talking like me, giving you all kinds of tips and or just hanging out with you. Because if you just sit there and watch someone make a fursuit, sewing painstakingly for like 60 hours or however many hours it takes to sew a fursuit. It's like, dear Lord, you know? You'll be there forever. Part of the reason I even started this series was so that you guys could just see how long it really does take to make a full fursuit like this. Okay, so all the way around we've got this one straight stitch. We've got the zigzag stitch, except the 2 inches right here on the side. So if you're holding it straight up, this is where I left the 2 inches. Right here. Like that. Yes. So now let's turn it inside out and see how it looks. And we'll see if truly 2 inches is big enough. It should be. I'm thinking it should be. Especially if you're doing something like this where you turn it inside out. The spots on either side of that gaping hole need to be very, very sturdy. So definitely sew these spots extra. Like go back and forth on them a few times. I probably did, but I wasn't paying attention to myself, so. But knowing me, I probably did. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera over here so you can watch me turn it inside out. You know, if I actually had it panned down. So I might need like a stick or something to try to poke out the very corners of this. Or maybe I can just use my nails to kind of pry it out. But yeah, the corner of the bandana is like a really hard, at least for me, it's always been kind of hard for me to get it perfectly all the way pulled out. Okay. Yeah, 2 inches seems to be working fine. It's not going to be like super easy, but turning stuff inside out is never super easy. If you're a little bit worried, you could go 2.5 inches, but like honestly, I think 2 inches is fine. Because I'm only having a tiny bit of trouble, and I went 1.5 inches. So honestly, yeah, 2 inches. I'm thinking 2. I love how I can't be in both cameras at once. Why do I gotta do this to myself? I gotta like sit here like this to be in both cameras. Yeah, so just be careful not to rip those seams that you have sewn before. Alright, it's coming out a little bit. See, I like to make bandanas like that match on both sides, but at the same time, if they don't match, that's fine too, because then you get like a completely separate option. It's like kind of the fun of the double-sided bandana, you know? You get to have 2 different options. But yeah, turning it inside out, it's taken me a minute. Okay, it would be great if I could actually do this, though. And the hole is actually big enough for this. Like, the other day I was trying to turn something inside out. I don't remember what it was, but the hole was way too small, and I screwed myself over. It made it so hard. And then, in the end, even if you do get it to go through, it will have probably damaged that section of the fabric, that little hole that you had to push it through. So, like, just don't make the hole too small, but you don't want the hole too big either. It's really, because then when you gotta do the invisible stitch, it's really hard to get it to look right. So, you can't win. Life lessons with Clover. You can't win. Alright. So, it's going. We've got it mostly inside out here. Or right side out, I guess. So, as you can tell, making fursuit bandanas does not take that long. But it does require some attention to detail so you don't mess it up. And fabric is quite expensive. So, like, even one of these bandanas, I think each one of these cost me $10. No. Yes? No, $20. Because each yard of fabric cost me $10, and it's like I needed 2 different kinds for each side, so 2 bandanas cost me $40. But I mean, I've only used half of it. I mean, there's still the other half that I can use to make another bandana, but like, I'm just saying, fabric is expensive, so it's kind of stressful if you mess it up. So this is almost all turned inside out, or right side out, I guess. And when it is, I'm going to have to drag the ironing board over here again, because we're going to iron it flat. And then, to make it look really nice finish, we're going to do a nice seam all the way around. And I think you can see it on this one a little bit better. So here's the seam on this. I kind of gave it a bit of leeway, but on my Halloween one here, I did a while back, this one, the seam is right at the edge. So that's up to you. If you want to have the seam at the edge like this, or if you want to give it a little bit more distance in. This one does not show that well, does it? There we go. Yeah, like, there's the seam. It's up to you. But I would choose a different color, like something bright and fun. Like for this one, I might go orange thread or something. Hey, Shock, how you doing? Oh no! Shock, you should go to bed probably, actually. I mean, it's really cool that you're here. I love to say hi to you, but yeah, I care about you not dying tomorrow when you probably have to get up for school or something. Other than being really tired, I hope you are doing well. Alright, almost every box or bag of polyfill stuffing that you get usually comes with this little tool. It's just a little wooden stick, and, you can use it to, instead of a pencil or scissors, please don't use a pencil or scissors because it will cut through the fabric or puncture it. You can use it to kind of straighten out this corner. So I'm going to do that on the other corner too. This center corner down here, like this center one, you can do that with your fingers for the most part. I don't really need to straighten it with this stick, but, because, I mean, it's like a 90-degree angle. It's not like this corner where it's really tiny and it's hard to get your finger in there, but yeah, the stick is really helpful for these edge pieces. Okay. Oh, you can't really sleep now. Oh no! You don't have school, luckily. Oh, that is lucky. That's really nice. Okay. Double cam. What is my hair doing? What is this strand? All the rest of my hair was uniform. It stayed in the ponytail. Okay. So here is the front. The little puppers. They're very tiny. They're so cute. And then here's the back with the kind of like the claw scratch marks. Looks really cool. The lighting in here is awful, but yeah, looks good. So now we've got to flatten this thing out and iron it, and then we'll do that nice finishing stitch all the way around. And by doing that finishing stitch, it's going to sew over this hole that we left. So that's another reason you don't want the hole too huge. Now let me say one thing. If you sew the edge right, if you sew it right at the edge like this, it will cover the hole. But if you want to sew kind of further up for the design, like right here instead of down here, you're gonna need to still hand stitch this close. So for my example, I'm gonna do the easy way. I'm gonna sew it right here on the bottom, and that's going to sew this gap. But if you do want to sew it higher up, or you could even sew a higher up one and a lower one if you'd rather, but yeah, if you do want to sew just the higher up one, it's not going to close that gaping hole, and you're going to have to hand stitch it closed first. Which I've shown many times, so I'm not going to do it today because it's not something I'm going to do. But, so instead, I'm just going to kind of sew right at the edge here, and it's going to close it. Alright, so this is the one. I'm trying to debate, like, I really kind of wanted to do the other one too, but it just took so long. Should I not? Kind of wondering if I should not. I need my pin box. So I have a box for some of my pins here. Well, my clips, I guess. And I've got a bag direct from Amazon. And I've just kind of left it in here. I really should get a nice box for these clips or something, but I've just been keeping them in here. Oh, I remember what I was turning inside out. So, Oh no, shock! I'm probably sleep deprived, likely, but who knows? That's such a sad statement. Alright. Oh! There's something I wanted to do with you guys. I mean, likely Shock is the only one on stream, but maybe somebody on YouTube one day can get some entertainment from this too. I need to open this polyfill, and I decided to wait for a stream to do it. The reasoning for that is because this polyfill is 20 pounds. It's not your standard box of stuffing. This stuffing, it's gonna rise. Basically, it's gonna be almost as tall as me, I'm thinking. I don't know how high it's gonna rise because it's just so well compacted in there. But anyways, I wanted you guys to experience this with me. So I'm kind of scared. Because once I untie it, like there's gonna be a tie in there. Once I untie it, yeah, right? So first I gotta pop this baby open. Normal boxes of stuffing, I mean, they already pop open. Like, they inflate to, like, double their size. But, like, this one being such a huge box of stuffing, I don't know. I don't know what to expect, man. It's the toilet paper! Oh, yeah! What happened? I think I walked by with this and Fel's friend thought it was toilet paper or something. I don't remember what happened with that, but it was really funny. Okay. Oh boy, it's no wonder this thing is heavy. How am I supposed to get this out? It's stuck in here. And also it looks like it's kind of packed in two, which is interesting. I thought it would just be one, but interesting. So it's packed into two little packs here. I really thought it was going to be one. Okay, well that's a little bit less exciting because now it's going to take, it won't pop up as high as I thought it would, but let us open this and just let it deflate. Inflate? Deflate? Let's let it inflate. Yeah. They've got this all wrapped up. Like, they know how vacuum packed this thing is. By the way, these bags are awesome for sending out fursuits in. If you've got a fursuit to sell, like those bags are huge. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's rising. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Let me push this box back. Yeah, already doubled its size. That's fun. It does look like toilet paper packaging, doesn't it? Yeah, it doubled its size. Yeah, it got big. So they gave me this huge heck of a twist tie to it was kind of holding it in place, but geez. See, now the problem is, when I want to go put this away, like, I can't. I'm gonna try. I'll try to put it away. But I can't. Like, even this one is already expanded. I mean, I won't be able to close this. Alright, so it didn't blow up as big as I thought it would, but it's still double size of this giant box. Let me sit next to it just so you can see. It got big. It is a big box, and that is a lot of stuffing. And I'm glad I'm not opening the other half right now. Because, dear Lord, I don't think I have anywhere to store all that stuffing. I don't know why I bought that much. Alright, well that was fun. I just wanted to experience that with you. And if it gets bigger, I'll let you know. I'm just gonna leave it on in the background. I'll leave this panda head here. Okay. Alright, so, what we were doing. Oh yes, we were getting out the ironing board. Okay. So, I'm gonna put it as low as I can, like I did before, but, like, you know, it only goes so low. And I'm short, so I always put it as low as I can, but I am, like, exactly 5 feet tall. And it's not fair because my twin sister is like an inch or two taller than me. And that's not fair. We're supposed to be even on everything. Okay. So this ironing board has like this wire rack thing on the end here. It's supposed to be where you put like an iron just to set it. It's like at an angle, but mine doesn't do that. Mine has the base. Hang on. We're tangled. Am I Rapunzel? Because I'm sure tangled. Okay. So let me take this base off. Okay, so this is my iron. It's a wireless iron, but it only lasts for like a few seconds, not that long. So I just you iron for a few seconds, whatever, and you put it back on the base and it charges it. And they iron. It's really weird. I don't know. But anyways, that's what this little rack here is for. So you can set an iron on it. But I never do that because it's got a base. So that's useless. Let me show you guys a little bit better. This. Yeah, like the polyfill panda. He's just blending in. See, it's like this really strange, awkward angle. That's how you'd set it like this. And the intent for this wire piece is, I think, for you to hang clothes on it. Like, you can hang the top of hangers there. Or you can fold it in like I do. Also, this piece slides out and up. It's like an arm thing. So you can iron, like, the arm of whatever arm you're ironing. It's really cool. Not like I'll ever use it. Well, okay, I thought I'd never use it, but I actually have used it, so. But it wasn't for what they expected, so. Whoever sold this to me did not know that they would be giving me something to iron lots of furry stuff. They thought I was just gonna iron suits and stuff. Well, ha! Joke's on them. I'm going to iron many things that are not formal attire. Okay, I'm gonna turn this a little bit. Odd iron device. I know, right? Isn't it just? It's just freaking weird. It's bizarre. Oh, I was finishing my story. I'm always getting distracted mid-story. Okay, so I got this satin fabric. Satin is like a mix between silk and... What is it? I can't remember. It's mostly silky, but satin is really nice stuff. It's very smooth. So I used it to make like a face mask for sleeping because anytime I travel, I like to have one of these on me just in case. And I put a blackout fabric on the back, like for blackout curtains. You can get just like some blackout fabric. And then for the design, I've got... Well, I made one here that's like just fluffy. It's super plush. I wonder if you can see the fibers if I bring it close. But it's super soft. But this one is my favorite. I made my Mii. My Mii from my 3DS or my Switch, whatever. My Mii. My Nintendo Mii. So I'm going to put this on and freak you all out. Let me sit down. Hi. How are ya? Yeah, so that's a fun, horrifying thing. Also, I was working on Figbee's, but I didn't get to finish his. So this would be a Figbee eye mask for sleeping. Which is cool, but I did not finish the eyebrows. I need to grab my fabric from home for the eyebrows, so... We'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll show you next time if I remember. But that's what I was turning inside out. That I didn't leave enough space, and it was just awful. It looks like Mii eyes. Good! That was what I was going for. It's my Mii on my 3DS. Yeah, it's not a big project, but that's just what I've been doing for the past however so long on... my nights after work, because I'm too tired to do anything really helpful but, like, I like to do some off projects, and that's just what I've been doing. Personal projects, I guess. I don't really know what else to call them. Wow, there's just fur all over my iron. That's wonderful. I'm gonna need to vacuum my iron again, I guess. Okay. So, the iron is heating up. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get this prepared to be ironed. Ha ha. So I'm just kind of rolling it a little bit between my fingers, trying to get the edge on the edge, you know, because sometimes it's like this, where it's kind of like bulbous. See, if you just kind of roll it a little, it'll find the edge for you. Whew, bug landed on me. I blew it off. Oh no! See-through eye masks are like, there's no point. The blackout fabric that I used worked really well. I was really happy about that. I bet if you wanted to, you could try it. Though it would be really fun if I opened up for fursuit commissions, fursuit eye mask commissions. That would be pretty fun. That's something I could do, I guess. So right now I'm just kind of finding that edge and just kind of folding it. I'm kind of using my nails to kind of wow. What a day, am I right? English. I'm trying to use my nails to make a new crease so that when I iron over it, it'll just be correct the first time. But it does take a minute or two. Again, yet another thing I'd probably be watching TV or something on in the background while I'm working on it. Yeah, just rolling it in your fingers like that. That works for me. It gets it all out to the seam, because some of this looks like it's finished, but it's like not. There's a ton more in there. So you just gotta get it out to the edge. Yeah, that's kind of see-through. If you could see light coming through, you know, it kind of breaks the... It kind of wrecks the purpose of having a sleeping eye mask if, like, light comes through it, you know? Alright, so, for comparison's sake, let me calm it down a bit. Oop. Okay, for comparison's sake, this is the side that I didn't find the edge and straighten it out on. It's just kind of flopped over. This is the side that I did find the edge and, like, kind of pinched it with my nails. So, it is a big difference. I think it helps a lot. Because otherwise, when I go to iron it, it's not gonna... probably not gonna go and fix all of these edges for me. Like, you gotta do it by hand, you know? You gotta make sure the entire thing is fully inside out. Yeah, that's what made me want to make myself a new one in the first place, was because my old one was kind of not great, and I'm such a light sleeper that... And I have to go to a wedding. Like, I keep bringing this up, but it's like the next big thing I gotta do. So, I gotta go to a wedding, and I don't like traveling without a face mask, because you never know when you're gonna be stuck somewhere, maybe, like, in the car, or at an airport, or somewhere where you're gonna, like, just be dead tired and want to take a nap, but it's, like, bright. And then you gotta put, like, something over your face. So you try to, like, put your arm up over your face, but as you're falling asleep, your arm keeps falling, or... It's just, like... I'd just rather pack this tiny little face mask. It'll help me a lot, probably, if I end up using it, so... I wish I wasn't such a light sleeper. I think that would help me a lot. But yeah, the longest... I've had to stay in an airport for several hours before. And I took a nap, man. Like, I put my luggage under my feet. And I put my feet out, and I took a nap. I put my laptop bag on my lap. And you know what? Nobody even bothered me. That's great. I was concerned somebody would try to do something, like, fishy, like steal my stuff when I'm sleeping, or wake me up. But no. It actually went okay. Okay, I'm almost at the end here. I know I gotta readjust the camera. It's kind of seeing nothing. I'm actually surprised the stuffing didn't get any bigger, but if it was all in one bag like I thought it would be, it probably would have gotten much bigger. Okay, iron is all heated up. These edges are all kind of all folded to the best they can, so I'm just going to iron. Oh yeah, I still gotta adjust the camera, I just left it there. Okay. There we go. A little bit better of a view, I'd say. Not much, but a little bit. Yeah, this part's... it's fine. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to see when it's coming together. That's probably the best part of any project is the end, which, I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but it's kind of true. It's the most fun part is when you're seeing it all coming together. My favorite part of making fursuits is when I'm not making fursuits. But yeah, I was just gonna do some bandanas today for the people in the queue, and I just thought, well, you know, this is part of making a fursuit, I guess, so kind of just wanted to show it on stream too. I mean, it's part of it. I mean, it's an accessory, but it goes with it. I guess it depends on if your character is a character that really wears bandanas a lot. I'd say it's about a 50-50 whether I wear one as Figby. But, like, I only own 2 bandanas, and it was the 2 I showed you. The Halloween candy corn one and the summery s'mores one, yeah. How big is your queue? It's full. I believe I have 6 people in queue, so yeah, it's full. Which is great. It's excellent. But what's not great is I'm concerned I'd be taking too long to get to people's stuff, so I had to make most of the people, I'm pretty sure, are aware that, I mean, they are in a queue, so it's gonna be a little bit, but still, it's like, I gotta step up my game. Why am I so slow? That's my question. Like, I've heard stories of fursuit makers making fursuit within a week, and I think that's ridiculous. Unless it was very minimal quality, I don't think you can make the highest quality of fursuits within a week. It's just physically not possible, unless you had a team. But yes, like a lower or mid, whatever tier quality, you could probably, but like, I'm just saying, quality takes time, and, I wish I didn't take too much time. I take a lot of time. That's what I like to tell people is, I think I have a pretty good style. Like, I do a good job. It's high quality stuff. It's cheap, but I'm slow. And that's no good. I'm slow, and also I have problems answering my Discord sometimes. I'm getting a little better at that, though. Getting a little bit better. But still, yeah, it's kind of... yeah. Okay, so now that we've ironed this, we're going to stitch around the edges. Especially being careful about this one right here where the hole is. It should be perfectly fine right now. It should be already ready to sew. Which it is. You can barely even see it's there. So yeah, we'll stitch right over it. I'm going to start with this harder spot, this hole. Max is under a year if it's a full suit. Yeah, everything takes a while, really. Anything of any kind of quality will take some time. Not to say that people haven't made quality fursuits very quickly. I'm sure somebody has, but like, I'm of the belief that to make the highest quality, or the most complicated, you know, like, I'm sure somebody could make a plain gray wolf or something, like a plain one color character, but yeah. Okay, I'm not sure why the camera is angled like this. I guess I messed up on the stand somewhere. Oops. Oh. Then I almost just dropped the camera on my face. That's nice. I didn't need a face anyways. I have to work in the morning. And it's like 3 a.m. right now. Why is it... I'm shocked that you're awake, Shock. You're awake, I'm awake. We should both go to bed, probably. But here we are. Alright, I'm going to start with the hardest part, which I already said I would, is this edge piece. And I just tucked it in, made sure that it's correct, and I'm just going to go. Go forward. I'm going to do backward a few stitches, and then go straight forward through it. And I'm going to back up again, just to make sure I really have that spot sewn down for sure. Sad! I've heard that too. Stories of people waiting so long for their fursuit, and then it's like, it didn't even get started, or barely started. It's just sad. I don't want to be that person. Alright, so I did end up choosing to go with gray. I didn't say it out loud, but here's the gray. The gray thread, I mean. And so, yup, it looks good. When I start, I like to stop for a second just to check to make sure the threads are properly sewing through. And it is, so we're good. So I'm going to keep going. Alright. And this is kind of like a decorative one, so like this stitch isn't going to be on the inside. I mean, it's right here on the outside. So you want to kind of make sure it looks nice. Don't zigzaggity it around, and just try to do it as nice and straight as you can. Same as before, back up a little bit at the end, just to lock it in place. Okay. Yeah, so this red one here, we're not going to finish this one tonight. I just don't have enough time, at least not on stream. I'll probably finish it when I get off stream, but we just don't have time to get this one done too. So we're going to finish the one we're on, and yeah, we're going to finish the one we're on, and that'll be that. And then I will see you guys next stream, where hopefully I'll have Renn's head ready to go for the gluing process of the pelt. I'm hoping. We'll see. I'm gonna check it one more time, see where I think we should continue on the stream, because I don't want to skip too much, but I don't want to skip too little, if that makes sense. I don't want it to be boring, so that's why I was skipping stuff in the first place. Okay. Sorry, this part takes a minute. It'd be better if you could see, though. There we go. Sorry. I don't really like talking over the machine. It's just kind of hard. Okay. Cool, we're at the corner here. So I like to leave the needle all the way down, and then I can lift up the presser foot and rotate this. And that way I don't have to restart all my stitches again. It's just nice and easy. Okay. So I am going to do a few back stitches here. I don't really need to. I just kind of feel like I want to. In case the thread snaps, I won't have to start all the way over from the last time. So yeah, that's only went over the inside twice. We did that original first stitch around and then the zigzag around. And now we're doing it from the outside here. So this is kind of like our third stitch. So that's why I didn't do a third stitch on the inside, because it was kind of unnecessary. In fact, it might have made it worse, because it would have been bulky. Wonder if stuff would be different if I weren't your first friend. I don't know. I don't know. Because I was kind of scared to get into the fandom. I was. I don't remember exactly what happened to get us talking, but it was nice. I'm sure I would have eventually found my way to the fandom, but boy, it might have taken me a bit longer. Yeah. Almost there, guys. Yeah! Yeah, you definitely helped me, kind of feel, like, safe in the fandom. Kind of just helped me get in general. It was awesome. Thank you. I really don't know what would have happened. Okay, I do believe that's it. So cut off any of the threads you got going on. Now I'm gonna check to see if there's any more. Oh, I've almost killed this camera so many times. Alright, so let's see here. So on this side you can see the stitching. Just that light gray, the same as before. And on this side you can see the stitching. So here's the part where I do like a final iron and make sure it's really nice. I'm going to do that off stream, like the final ironing, because really, you don't need to see me iron again. It's just going to look the same afterward anyways. So, that's it. I mean, we did it. If you wanted to, you could sew like a logo in there, like a CloverCat logo or something, like coming out of the seam, but I don't really want to do that. That's just not what I like to do for bandanas, and I don't know. Not my thing, but you could if you wanted to do it on yours. And so here's the one side. Here's the poppers. They're super tiny. Here's the other side, all the gray with the little checkies. Alright, and let me put it on. I haven't made myself a bandana in a long time. I've only ever had the two, because I only ever made the two. Cute. Okay, so the lighting is kind of jank, but it is very cute. It's very big. So once, next stream, I'll have these, both of these, the other one's not done yet, but I'll have them both done and ironed. We'll put them on Renn, and her head, we'll put her head back together, like the pelt. So we'll see what it looks like on Renn next stream. So I'm really excited for that. Cute. I really like the gray. The cute little checks. Aww, that's really cute. I hope Renn likes these. Because I picked these fabrics out just for her. And let's see how Figby looks. Yeah, I definitely was less social back then. In fact, I was an introvert. Duh. Like, the days of me never even considering streaming. Well, I mean, I did consider it, but I never was ever gonna go through with it, because I was a scaredy cat, because, yeah. But, like, look at me now! So you really helped me to get into that, because I was definitely scared for sure at first. Cute! So this will look really cute on Renn. Oh, I forgot. The iron made a sound, and I was like, oh, it's still on? That is so cute. Little little checks there. And yeah, again, if you want, you can fold over the top bit a little bit so you can kind of see both patterns. Probably fold it over a little more than I did here, but I did show this off earlier to a better extent than right now. But yeah, I guess we're successful. I'm gonna iron this now, but I'm gonna end the stream so you don't have to sit through it. So that was one and a half of these, because the other one's only halfway done. We're going on 2 hours and 40 minutes, so let's just say 3.5 hours to make 2 bandanas. So it's like an hour and 45 minutes to make a bandana. That is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. This camera is in my face. I don't know if you can see me trying to dodge it, but let's check in and see on how our stuffing is doing. Because I believe it's still bulbous. Yup. Wow. Yeah, it did get a little bit bigger even. Because now it's spilling over the edge. I don't know, man. That's a lot of stuffing. I just wanted you to experience that stuffing with me. Alright, so that was fun. I've got a few more bandanas to do. I've got some for Ace and some for the other one for Renn. I've got just a little bit to do. So either way, I've got things I've got to keep myself busy. So I'm going to go and get some work done. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know it's really late. It's like 3 a.m. right now. I'm going to try to start doing streams in a normal hour. Story of my life. I'll try. Next time, we will have Renn. Oh, yeah, that camera. I already shut it off. Renn. I will have her pelt mostly done, and we can put it on her face and then try the bandanas on. We're probably going to make her nose next time. And yeah, actually, that's probably about it. We'll try to get the nose. We'll get the nose done. Probably maybe the inside of the mouth lined with the black minky and yeah, the pelt and the bandanas. Yeah, we're getting there, guys. Because after that, it's really straightforward. You just glue everything in together and yeah. Then we're gonna do the eyes. We're so close. We're so close. So thank you for hanging out with me, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye. Whoa, you get a double wave.